Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of the Phone Flipping Show. Let me go ahead and make sure that I'm live here. If you guys can see me, feel free to comment in the comments section and let me know if you can hear me all right. With that being said, guys, today we're going to be talking about we're going to be talking about building rapport to close more deals. Matt will be hopping on here in a few seconds. He was grabbing his kiddo from school. Dad and reseller life, right? Sometimes they get mixed up in between each other, and that's a good thing. All right, but before we get started, guys, this is the Phone Flipping Show. This is where we kind of dive in and teach you guys stuff and help you guys win and all of that good stuff, right? Um, before we dive into the topic today, I do want to share some resources with you guys that can help you with your business. First is the Tech Flip to Profit ebook. It is packed with a lot of information to help you guys get started in this business, top 10 electronics to flip, all sorts of stuff and goodies inside of that. So feel free to give that a look. It's on episode 11 of the Smart Flip podcast. You can listen to it for free. And then second, we have our Mercury Electronics price sheet. If you want to comment price sheet in the comments below, I'll get notified and I'll send it directly over to you in the comments. With that being said, let's kind of get started today. But before we do that, I do want to go over some wins that we've recently had in our Slack community. So let me pull those up real quick. So for those of you that don't know, we put our community on Slack. Slack is like Discord. I think it's just a little bit more professional, in my opinion. I like it a lot, and it's been really good for the students. So let me pull up all of our recent wins. So you scroll all the way down here. So all the way down, we got a ridiculous amount of them in here. Me and Matt have just tons and tons of screenshots in here. So you guys can see here, just wins upon wins. Gotta love when money comes to you while you're watching your daughter play soccer. Items 44 through 47 for the week. Almost hit a 50 device week. Congratulations, Kevin. eBay outbound. There's just wins after wins here, guys. Spencer hit $60,000 in sales on eBay, which is wild. Like, let's be real. Like, $60,000 in sales on eBay with only 410 orders. That's awesome. And he's only got 11 active items. So pretty cool stuff. Kevin Price over here with some more wins, more wins, more wins. Here's Drawd back in the saddle, hopping back in to the reselling game. Hit 2,000 in sales already. So as you guys can see, this is just constant. This is every single day. We get 5 to 10 wins every single day in this chat. So it was kind of funny. I was talking with somebody earlier and he was like, Chris, like, dude, device sales and buying and everything has been incredibly slow. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, my students are literally hitting record profit months right now, record profits. And you're telling me it's slow? Somebody who's been in the industry for 5 years? Like, that's crazy to me because my guys are over here crushing it. So, guys, like this stuff freaking works. You just gotta, put in the time. And Matt is with us now. You're muted, Matt.
What's up, guys?
But guys, like the wins speak for themselves. Like there might be people out there that are telling you, like, hey, phone flipping is like it's not working. Maybe phone flipping itself isn't working the way it used to. I've done a webinar about that. The traditional methods of phone flipping are dead. Like they're probably just using some old methods, if I'm being real. So, with that being said, guys, today we got a great class for you guys. We're going to be talking about how to build rapport when it comes to flipping devices and buying from people and selling to people and all sorts of stuff. Because this is a big part that I think a lot of people overlook. A lot of people don't really build rapport in this business, right? They treat it like what I call a one night stand. And if you want to build a business, that's not the right way to do it, right? So, with that being said, let's jump into today's topic, how to build rapport in your phone flipping and buyback business. And for that, I'm going to use some stuff. We're going to use some stuff from my new book that is coming out in a couple of months. So With that being said, guys, I'm gonna jump into it first. I think the best way to build rapport is by simply number one, making the offer very fast. Okay. The faster you make the offer, the more people are going to take you seriously. Just going to be real. Matt, even when you're doing reach outs, how quickly do you try and determine an offer?
Usually within the first 5 to 6 statements.
Yeah. With ads, it's more like the first 2 to 3,
Yeah,
right? Because let's be
even.
real. What are people reaching out for? They're not
Mhm.
reaching out to get, to do a million questions. Honestly, guys, the more
Mhm.
questions you ask, the less rapport you're actually building,
Yeah.
especially in the beginning. Okay. And there's a reason behind this. Like psychologically, people just do not want to answer all your questions. Like, has anybody like ever been in a line and like let's say doctor's office, right? Like you want to go there, figure out what's wrong with you, right? Like that's what you're there for. But you got to fill out this big long form that everybody hates. Like, is that an enjoyable part of the process? Because that's what you're doing to the customer.
Mhm.
Let's be real. That's what's happening. So you can build you can build more rapport with your customers by making the offer faster. And I've seen it so many times where I'll offer a faster offer and I'll just close the deal faster because I just shot out an offer from the hip, right? It might have been a low ball, but a lot of them accept it, you know? I mean, Matt talks about it all the time. He's like, you're looking for three different types of people. You're looking for desperate, or I mean, I don't know your exact wording behind it, but like there's certain people you're looking for in this business. And I
Mhm.
mean, what is it, Matt?
It's people who don't know.
Yeah.
That would we would call those ignorant, and everybody's ignorant at some point. People who don't care, indifferent, and people who just need money. Basically, people that are in kind of a desperate situation. So ignorant, indifferent, and desperate. And we don't do that to exploit them. We just want to be aware that these negotiations are a lot easier, generally with these type of people. They all want the same thing. They just want cash.
Yeah. And I think, I'm going to pull from my book here, the chapter. Negotiation is not a tug of war, right? Like you can build rapport through negotiation without like it becoming a tug of war battle. If you look at it more as teamwork, then it works out a lot more in your favor. Okay. So like it's not you versus them. It's side by side, creating a deal that both of you feel is great. So once that clicked for me, deals got easier, sellers became repeat customer, and my profits started climbing fast. So like this isn't something that we want to that we're just throwing out there. This is real stuff that we've learned from doing this just for a good long time. Um, and that my bullet negotiation is proof of that.
Mhm.
So like with the bullet negotiation, it's you build rapport after you make times. Okay. Why does this say preparing live stream? I thought I was already live. Oh no. I think it's live.
Live recorded stream.
Bullet negotiation is oh no, it's still going. I don't know. That's weird. But yeah, guys, I mean, a lot of the rapport is actually built after you make that first offer. A lot of people don't realize that. But let me give you guys an example. So if I'm making an offer, I make the first offer, which is usually called the anchor offer, right? Make the anchor, I make my offer, and then they let's just say they say no, right? Well, now it gives me a chance to build rapport.
Yeah.
And now I can be like, okay, well, what company is it with? Right? Or if it's a game console, it can be like, all right, well, is it like special edition? Like, like you can build more rapport by then asking questions,
Yep.
right? A lot of the times, a lot of people don't realize that you can actually do it that way. But that is the way it works, is you can build even more rapport after you make that first offer by just asking those little bitty questions, that people, they're not going to send you everything right away most of the time. Sometimes they will, but most of the time they won't, right? And it's your job to build that rapport with
Right.
the customer while you get them what they want from the very beginning, which is an offer. Matt, do you have anything to add to any of that?
About building rapport?
Yeah.
Yeah, plenty. Um, Chris, he this is kind of just in the water of what Chris talks about very
While you
frequently.
get them what they want.
But one important thing is just remember one of the best ways to build rapport with people is just be a straight shooter. Be honest. Like people can tell when they feel like you're withholding information. So whatever you do early on in the conversation, right? That's one reason why making the offer up front so quickly that Chris was talking about is so great for rapport because people just they want the facts like right in front of them. And the
Yep.
more kind of direct but kind you can be with people, then it's going to build a lot of rapport. The other thing would just be, you know, have what we call EQ, emotional quotient, right? Be aware and read the moments. People will text you in certain ways. Text back similarly. If someone's sending
Yeah.
you a sentence per text, don't send them a wall of words to communicate back to them. You got to read the moment and learn to track with the language that people are speaking. Essentially, you want to parrot that back to them. And so it's kind of learning how to become customer relationships is all about being able to kind of chameleon yourself into being connectable with whoever is. You want to mirror the person that's in front of you in some respects, especially when it comes to language and communication. Um, if they're very straightforward, be straightforward. If they seem a little hesitant, read that moment and just say, "Hey, you seem to kind of be questioning this moment. Let me reassure you that," right? And you might be able to read and answer questions for them that are in their head that they would never think to ask. But if you can be intuitive like that and kind of trust your gut, that all can be incredibly helpful. I would say one of the biggest challenges, especially with rising generations, and I don't know why this is, no discredit to Gen Z, but the art of communication feels like a bit of a lost touch for, I'd say, a lot of the students that we have coming on board, especially the younger guys. And you have to just get those reps in with people on a customer level before you probably cultivate that aspect of the skill. But the sooner you start trying to do that, like the more you kind of start to feel that out. And you can hear that. Like if Chris were to post a video or a replay of one of his phone calls, you can understand why when he says, "Hey,
Yeah.
closing people over the phone is so much easier." Why? They can hear the empathy. And then there's more that's felt there than just like a deadpan text coming at
Yep.
somebody, on the other side of the vortex of text messages. So like a lot of people just I think they underestimate that and they forget like be warm, be pleasant, read the moment, and be honest. And if you can bring those things to the table consistently, and then maybe one extra, like just be hospitable. If you're going into a Starbucks, offer them a drink, ask them how their day was doing. Like freaking give a crap, yeah, quite honestly. Um, and that can make a big
Good
difference
way to put
because
it.
empathy is just something that feels almost kind of like a lost dialogue in culture. Like there's so many relationships between people and businesses that aren't, they're very transactional, right? But stuff with humans is never just purely transactional, even though it's going to benefit your wallet. There's something about it that should also like kind of connect. And so, if you can have a little bit of heart behind what you say and what you do, and people will feel that and they will give you incredible Google reviews, guys, and your business will blossom.
Yeah, we had someone give Kevin a review the other day. That
Mm.
was
Hmm.
that was a review for all reviews.
And a
Probably the best
half,
I've
man.
ever
It was
seen.
fantastic. Yeah. It was not a 5-star review, guys. It was a 6-star review.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, that was a heck of a comment he got on his GMB, and that I hope that one gets pinned to the top
For sure.
by Google because it definitely showcases his will to um, provide the best service for his customers, which is going to go a very long way for him.
Yeah,
Uh,
totally.
he's already full time, and all of that. But another thing I wanted to touch on here with rapport is following up.
Okay.
Following up, I would have to say is probably the most rapport building thing that you could actually do. Is because as soon as you follow up with somebody, it actually moves you to a different category.
Right.
Because let's be real, most of the people that message people on Marketplace or Facebook or even if it's inbound leads, like
Hmm.
most of the people never follow up, ever, ever.
True.
Okay. So by simply following up, it actually moves you into a different like bracket of person, in
Mm.
my opinion. Um, because it shows you that you're serious. It just shows it like just the act of doing it shows that you're a serious person. And I think that's incredibly valuable too. Is like just noticing that. I mean, a lot of the like I don't even know how to put it, but like following up it like I call it FU money, right? Because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Um it works in two ways. Like it's follow-up money, but it's also something else, right?
Yeah.
Because more people come to know who you are by simply you following up
Yeah.
by default. Like they're like, oh yeah, well, he was actually the only one that actually reached back out to me. I'll probably go with him. He seems more legit, you
Mm.
know? Like that's a real thing, guys. Like I
Yeah.
can't tell you guys how many times, how many businesses have reached back out to me and they're just like, "Hey, how was everything?" Or, "Hey, are you guys good with all this stuff?" Like it's just part of the business and it's a part of the business that you have to learn. There's not an AI tool currently that's going to go out and just follow up with all of your leads for you. It's not going to happen,
Not
right?
yet.
Like, and it won't happen for a while, and it definitely won't happen to the point where it is like custom for that person. But like, if you're willing to just go out and do it, it will showcase your professionalism and your rapport to that customer, and they will choose you over everybody else all day long. So like, it's a big part of the business that
Yeah.
a lot of people just miss. Um, and if you don't miss it, I mean, a lot of you probably will miss it at first. Let's be real, because most of you guys just need leads, right? So,
Hmm.
but a lot of people say they just need more leads when in reality, you just need to work the leads that you have better.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
So I here's a quote from Hormozy that I was listening to him the other day on this. And on his sales team, he will like he'll ask, hey, what is the max amount of people that you can follow up with and message at one time? And if somebody says 100, he gives them 70. I want you guys to understand how powerful that is. And here's the reason why. If they say my max is 100 and he gives them 70 leads to work with a KPI of like, hey, I expect seven of these people to turn into phone calls, right? So he's heavily focusing on like making sure that they have enough time and they're not overwhelmed with a lot of leads. Because this is another issue that we're actually seeing now inside of Recelerator is I mean Kevin was talking about it the other day. He's like, dude, I have too many leads. I can't handle this. So like it's very interesting how the first problem you have is not enough leads, but then it becomes too many leads. And then rapport does break. Like whenever you're overwhelmed, you can't give that type of rapport anymore.
Right.
You can't build it, and it's just not. It's so. I guess one of the what I'm really trying to say here is like, yeah, you may not be getting a ton of leads right now, but are you working the leads that you do have? And I think that's a big question. Whether
Yeah.
you're doing reach outs or Facebook ads or Google ads or doesn't matter, right? Are you working the leads that you currently have access to? And
Yeah. I think
because
that's
everybody
huge.
does, especially if you've been in this business for a year. Probably have thousands of leads racked up. All you got to do is do a reactivation campaign, and a reactivation campaign is an incredible way to build rapport as well. Is you just
Yeah.
have to reach back out to all the people you've either purchased from or that have messaged you. And I guarantee you, for everybody listening, that right there will make you thousands of dollars
Yeah.
for free.
Yeah.
Like take it to the bank.
Yeah.
For those of you listening, reach back out to everybody who's ever messaged you, right? Go to Meta Business Suite, scroll all the way to the bottom, all
Yep.
the way, keep scrolling, the infinity scroll, right?
Hmm.
And then just start at the bottom and go up. Be like, hey, it looks like we spoke a while back. Um, I'm still looking to buy iPhones, MacBooks, smartwatches, cameras, and more. Do you have any electronics you might be looking to sell? Question mark. Send
Yeah.
it and just do that over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You do that for 100 people a day, I guarantee you you're going to make money and you'll build rapport at the same time. So, yeah, that's all I got on that. And Matt, do you have anything else to add?
Um, I wish more people maybe thought in that context, simply because you've probably heard this before, but if you haven't, your network is your net worth. meaning your business is only as good as the connections you've probably been able to make. Um, I can think of reach outs that I've made where people are like, "Hey, I do storage auctions. Hey, I do." Um, I met one person who did bought electronics from schools and universities that were getting rid of old stuff, and I bought a bucket of like 180 old iPod touches. And then I went back to those guys like seven more times and bought a bunch of vintage cameras from them and more DVD, VCR players. Like not necessarily like electronics you would think because we talk a lot about consoles and phones on this specific podcast, but it was electronics and it was a warm lead. And like leads can give you a lot of opportunity, but leads can also become more leads. For example, if you're good to people and follow up and then ask for referrals, then those leads will create more leads. And essentially, it just becomes this domino effect that builds your business exponentially. If people think about every person as a way to continue to extend this web of interest,
Yeah.
how do you dominate your city, guys? I hope you're listening when Chris shares this. I hope you're listening when we share this. Like, that's precisely how. Like,
You don't even
and
need to
it's
dominate your city though. Like
what's
let's
that?
be real. If you dominated, a subdivision.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Yeah. A bedroom community of whatever city you're in. You know, Houston's a lot, but like
Yeah,
Chris
like you
is
can't I can't dominate Houston. Like,
right.
no way. There's too many people, right?
Hmm.
But you dominate, all you gotta do is
How do you seize
dominate a few percent.
1%?
Yeah, it's even less than that. It's like
Right.
0.01% of your city, and you have a six-figure business.
Crazy.
I've done the math. Like it's wild. Like 200,000 people, Beaumont, Texas. Like if I got I think it was 0.01% of those people to sell me their devices, I would have a six-figure a month reselling business in that
Yeah.
city alone. So it just comes back down to like how many people are you talking to per day? I really love going back to this on the podcast, the Smart Flip with Spencer. He's
Hmm.
like, there's 500,000 people in Colorado Springs, and only about 1,200 of them know that I exist, according to my CRM.
That's wild.
It's like that is huge.
That's wild. Yeah.
Like being able to realize that's so important. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind. We do have a class we got to teach in about 5 minutes. So we're going to wrap this up, but we did want to give you guys access or look into something. We are trying this. We're backing up a little bit from the Recelerator course. I had a mentor mention to me that this is something that her students are utilizing really well. And it's not overwhelming, but at the same time, it's been really good for people who can't join her like high ticket coaching program, which is what we have in Recelerator. But it's a good like stepping stone for that. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are looking for momentum in your business, and well, this is what we're trying to do. So we're trying to help you create momentum. So this is momentum powered by Recelerator. So there's no real fluff in this, guys. No fluff, no courses, just live calls, community, and progress. And it's $200 a month, and you can cancel it anytime. So this is something we're trying. Um, like this, I think this is really good. You guys can read into this a little bit more if you want to, but it's all of our live calls every single week. You can pop on, get access to talk to Matt, talk to Aaron,
Yep.
and stuff like that. And then yeah, you'll get access to the Slack community that I showed you guys earlier. But once again, it's 200 a month, no contracts, no pressure, cancel anytime. There is no free trials for this because I don't do free trials for stuff like this. Uh, that's, I'll be real. It's, it's not worth it on our part.
Right.
Um, so remember, it's 200 a month, no contracts, no pressure, all of that. I do want to go over what this is not really fast though. There is no coaching, no one-on-one, and no ads management in this program. All right. So this is something that you can join and then like leave if you want to. Doesn't matter to
Mhm.
us. But the calls, like our students tell us all the time that the most valuable part of what we currently have is actually the community.
Yeah.
Uh, Being able to access the community and the calls, and they tell us all the time that's the most valuable part. And it's also one of the keystones to like actually, getting help, as well. And then later on, if you want to upgrade to Recelerator, you can do so, where you get me, Matt, and Aaron one on
Hmm.
one, which is incredibly valuable because we've helped so many people at this point scale their business. Like what I said, people are reaching out to me asking what's going on in the phone flipping market, while my students are literally having record breaking months for them. Like so, uh,
Truly.
but that probably because we flip more than phones, but.
Fair.
But with that, also, if you're not interested in phone flipping, check out Console Kings. We've seen quite a few of you guys joining, and that's been really cool.
Been
So
great. Yeah.
I reached out to one of our students the other day, and his I'm not going to mention his name, but I was like, dude, how you doing? How the phone sales doing? He's like, dude, I kicked phones to the curb. Like I just flip consoles now. It's so much easier. My life is better. All
Nice.
this, that, and everything else. He's like, I just use Matt's stuff now and just pick up consoles every day, and I make about 5 grand a month. And I was like, let's go, bro. Like,
That's
good to hear,
incredible.
He was like, it's well worth the price I paid for a Recelerator too. So I'm like, that's fantastic.
Wow.
But um,
That's awesome.
I mean, if you're just interested in consoles, check out Console Kings. You can find it in school.
Hmm.
Also, probably somewhere in the links below or something, or just message me about it.
Hmm.
But with that being said, guys, we got to go teach another class, to help these people level up. So with that being said, see you guys next week.